Hello there, welcome to Bocott. I just thought I'd give you an update on the layout because it's changed a bit since my last video, which was the steelworks. Yeah, I changed my mind a lot. But anyway, this is where we got so far. I'm just in the process of fixing the fencing at the back of the council estate. That's why it looks a bit crappy at the moment. But this is like the end of the layout, if you like. The station goes into a fiddle yard, long enough for about 5 coaches, so not too long, so there won't be any HSTs or anything visiting. So local DMU service only. The platform to the rear is now fenced off and is just used as a head shunt for the run round loop, which then takes the locos and freight down to the branch. So if I just give you a quick tour around and then tell you what my plans are. Just going to the bridge. Now the bridge, I did have some laser cut girders. In fact, I'll just try and reach them without losing you. Okay, so this is, I was planning on using something like that just to make it a bit different than the standard Pico girder sides. But just as they've been in the garage, they've warped slightly. I'm sure they can be fixed, but I'm now in two minds. I don't want to put them all together and then for it to go wrong. So the jury's out at the moment on that one. We'll see. We'll decide a bit later on. But anyway, that's the bridge. That's the road will just be around the corner. That lorry there, for all you true model railway spotters, is actually from Holland Park when Nick Gurney sold it all. I managed to grab one off eBay. So the layout will never be as good as any of his layouts, but at least I've got one of his trucks. And as we pan across then, so the back 2 lines are the run round loop that I was telling you about. The forward 2 are the sidings, which used to be in its heyday carriage sidings, because the idea is this is a layout, terminus layout, somewhere near the sea. It's now been taken over by Arlington Fleet Services, and they are doing all of the loco servicing, or very light servicing, refueling and stabling for visiting locos from any of the train operating companies that use the freight branch line, but also the passenger service as well. If they need topping up, they can pop in. The fuel farm is topped up regularly by a road tanker, no longer rail served. This is just like a satellite station for servicing and refueling. In fact, that was Sunday's work. That was an old container. Added a few bits to it just to resemble some sort of fueling point. Along the back here, just goes round and then it will disappear out of view onto the next stage. My garage is an absolute mess, so I will not be showing you all the way around today. Honestly, it's embarrassing, but I'll get round to it. So the idea is the normal passenger services come in on the first 2, or comes in the middle line, and they will come in and they will then come around to the station, either staying in this line or on the crossover into platform 1. Sorry if I'm throwing you around a bit. The far line is where the freight will arrive, and it will come into here. So I've left the wagons here, so that would be where the freight would arrive. The loco will then uncouple, go round to the head shunt and release and go back round. You're getting the idea of this, aren't you? It's quite easy. And then we'll couple up back to the end, and then it'll go off back round to the other part of the layout, which is going to include a branch line to a dock. I'm probably not going to model the dock itself. I just thought I want to see just trains running along with not a lot of track. So it's about 8 foot long, which would just be a track and a siding, and then the far lines would be the main lines in and out of Bocott itself. But I'll talk about that on the next video, I think. So that's pretty much it for this one. Just to give you a rough idea where we are. There is no steelworks, but I will be having steel trains coming in and be running down to the dock and the industry sidings down there. I hope that is a reasonable explanation. So when I tidy up a bit more, then I'll go around to the other side But until then, this is my update. Thanks for looking, and hope you're all coping, staying at home. Cheers.